Hey, 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 good morning. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with the ninth step in our 14-day challenge or journey, or 14-day steps to getting whatever you want to achieve in 14 days or less. I, again, am losing 7 pounds in the 14-day period. That was my want or my desire in the beginning, and I'm carrying that through this 14 steps as a way to demonstrate what is possible. Again, we're working off of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, and although it's all about accumulation of wealth and money in Napoleon Hill's examples that he gives throughout the book, this applies to anything that we want in our lives. Anything we want to achieve in our lives is attainable and achievable by following these steps, by learning this process. And that's part of why I want to do this at the beginning of this year, is to share and to show and to remind myself how anyone can do this process. Anyone. It's not limited to any, but it's not out of anyone's reach. All you have to do is know the steps and apply the steps. And anyone can do that. It doesn't take money to apply the steps. It doesn't take any particular intelligence to apply the steps. It doesn't take any, upbringing or background or economic advantage to apply the steps. It's just a matter of knowing what the steps are and then actually deciding, committing the time and applying them in your life. They're mostly done from within, and I would say they're almost 100% done from within. It all comes from you having the desire, having faith and belief in your desire, creating a plan, a definite plan to achieve your aim or your desire or your goal, and then taking those steps to put that plan into place. And along the way, you're creating different, I like to call them virtues and habits that will contribute to your success in whatever it is that you want. So me, 7 pounds, this wrapping up by January 7th. Again, with the dates, but it doesn't matter when you're watching this or when you're doing this. It's a 14-day process. It's a 14-day plan. It's a 14-day period. Whenever you start this, go through the steps, learn the steps, practice them on something small like I am. I mean, losing 7 pounds, people might think, oh, that's not a big deal. Well, when you're 57 years old and you've been a yo-yo dieter all your life, 7 pounds in 14 days is a really big deal, especially if, and I am choosing to, you want to make lifestyle changes to ensure that those 7 pounds aren't water weight that you're losing or holiday weight that you're losing. They're real health changes that are going to positively impact your life going forward, or it's real monetary changes or real habits in your relationships that are going to make your relationships better going forward, or your communication styles, whatever it is that you choose. Maybe it's you want to get a new job. Maybe you want to be a better parent. Maybe you want to be a better spouse. Whatever it is, practice and go through the process the first 14 days and master the process. Practice this process. Practice everything we're talking about, and pretty soon it will all become automatic and habitual, and it will just be standard operating procedure for you. It'll be how you work, how you do things, how you think, and then anything is possible. So what is the 9th step in this process? Yesterday we talked about persistence, and that decision-making is the way to overcome procrastination the day before that. And then persistence and overcoming obstacles and sticking to things is a critical step in the process. And so say you're being persistent and you're consistent with your goal and your desire and your faith and belief that you can achieve whatever it is you want. What else do you need to help you make that a reality? Well, the 9th step is all about the mastermind. Now, the mastermind to me is a couple of different things. It's surrounding yourself with a group of people that can help you achieve your goals and desires and your overriding goals and desires, not just one particular project per se, but all of what you're here to be and become. That is a really big, lofty thing. And I think we'll often have different masterminds for different periods and different times in our life. And another way of defining the mastermind is the ability to tap into knowledge and understanding bigger than just our one mind alone. And that gets into a whole new level of belief and thinking about the universe that maybe you're not ready to hear or understand. Now, it doesn't mean it isn't true, but you might not be ready or able or willing to grasp that concept at this particular juncture in your life. But I guarantee if you get Think and Grow Rich, read your copy of it, think about it, study about it, it'll lead you to other sources that will help you to increase your understanding and knowledge of the world and how it works and yourself and how you work. I know that's what I've done. Like I said, I read this book probably 30 years ago and didn't do much with it, but it did plant some seeds in my life that I've used parts of it throughout my life. And now, as part of a team, we're going back and we're actually studying it. We're doing it as a team and studying the information and saying, well, how can we apply this to each of our lives individually, and how can we apply it to this particular project that we're working on? And it's been really educational and fun and enlightening and eye-opening. I mean, the truth is there's things about ourselves and our lives that we don't want to look at and we don't want to admit to ourselves. But those are the very things that are holding us back from being and doing and having anything that we possibly could imagine. So is it hard sometimes? Is it hard to admit that you're actually falling into and guilty of many of the major causes of failure? Yeah, it's kind of humbling and it's hard, but guess what? You've known all along. I've known all along when I'm procrastinating. I've known all along when I'm making excuses. I've known all along when I'm making bad choices or I'm aligning myself with the wrong organization or the wrong individuals to achieve my long-term objective, who I want to be, what I want to become, and how I want to show up in this world. I always know. We always know. Everything we need is already inside us. How many times a day does somebody ask you a question and you say, I don't know? I used to do it all the time. But now I catch myself saying that, and I say to myself, wait a minute. You know, is this just something you don't want to share, or you don't want to admit, or you don't want to say out loud? But you know, Sharon, you know the answer. You know what to do. So let's quit my ranting and get on to Napoleon Hill's ninth step in accumulating wealth or moving toward riches, and it is the power of the mastermind. Some of the quotes in this chapter, in this particular version, again, I've got my son-in-law's copy of the book because I lent mine out with all my notes in it, which is really hard because I like having my own copy. I can just glance at, and what I've highlighted then is what I want to share and what I want to remind myself and continually learn and study and think about. And so to have a virgin copy with no notes is really, it's really challenging for me, but it's also an advantage because it makes me review all the material again to, decide, is that something important to me? Is that a highlight that I want to remember and share not only with you, but also share with myself as a way of learning and reinforcing the information for myself and the rest of our particular team. Some of the quotes in this particular version are awesome, so I want to share those today, as well as the call-outs that I would highlight and share in my own copy of it. And the power of the mastermind, this particular step is all about power and how you achieve the power to accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish without being on your own. Because the truth is, I can lose weight on my own. It's entirely up to me. It's 100% up to me, and that's something internal. And I may need other resources to give me the information and the knowledge and the desire and the belief that I can. But bottom line, it's all down to me actually taking the actions, following through, doing what I know I need to do to achieve that particular goal. If I have a loftier goal, say, for example, help 1 million people with chronic pain, guess what? That ain't going to happen on my own. I alone do not have the ability, unless I win the lottery, to help 1 million people that are suffering from chronic pain to make their lives better. But if I form a mastermind, and if I use my mastermind by tapping into infinite intelligence and much wiser and more knowledgeable people than I am, I will achieve that goal and that dream and that desire. So depending on what your goal or your desire is, if I want to have a better relationship, and this is kind of a tricky one, we were talking about this yesterday. If I want to have a better relationship with my significant other, that we want to say, okay, well, that's not entirely up to me. That's that person's responsibility too, and it takes two to have a great relationship. But I will argue that, like the weight loss example, is really entirely up to you, because it's all about giving 100% of yourself with the expectation of nothing in return. I honestly think that's the secret to an awesome relationship. If both parties give 100% of themselves, their energy, their time, their love, their attention, their desire to make the relationship work, with the expectation of nothing in return. They don't expect the other person to pay them back or do the same thing in return. They just give 100% of their love and whatever else to the relationship. If they both do that, the relationship will succeed. If one or the other chooses not to do that, and then again, it's an individual choice, then that relationship's probably not going to succeed. Maybe short term you'll get by, but long term, it's not going to happen. Excuse me. Part of my 7-day thing is I have to drink a glass of lemon water or two every morning, and so I thought the best way to do that was try to gag it down while I'm doing this, because it keeps my throat clean and my head clear, but it also gets me that action step that's moving me toward my goal accomplished simultaneously. So it's all about power. How are we going to get the power to accomplish what it is that we say we want to accomplish? And again, some things, yes, we can do on our own. Other things, we need help. We need resources and powers, and resources are power. Things outside of us, we need help to accumulate those and to get those to make what we want to have happen. Winston Churchill says, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. I love that. The mastermind may be defined as coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. So basically all that says is a mastermind is putting your head together with one or more other person's head to achieve something of a definite purpose. No great man ever complains of want of opportunity, Ralph Waldo Emerson. And that just, again, is there's opportunities all around us. There is no shortage of opportunities to do, be, or have whatever we want. It's just a matter of us being open to seeing them and then seizing those opportunities by taking action to move us toward them. And a mastermind definitely will help that. The success you experience never exceeds your self-concept. Joel Fatinos. No idea who that is. Probably should know, but I don't. Anyway, he's very wise, and he says, guess what? You can't ever be, do, or have more than you believe you can be, do, or have, or than you believe you deserve to be, do, or have. No individual may have great power without availing himself of the mastermind. Again, power outside of yourself, we always have 100% power and control over ourselves, whether we exercise that or not. But if we want to have power and influence outside of ourselves, bigger than ourselves, we need help with that. And we need spiritual help, we need physical help, we need resources, we need other people's minds to combine with ours to create whatever it is we need to create to achieve the goal we want to achieve. To think health when surrounded by the appearance of disease, or to think riches when in the midst of appearance of poverty, requires power. But he who acquires this power becomes a mastermind. He can conquer fate. He can have what he wants. Wallace D. Wattles. Wallace D. Wattles is another awesome person to study and read. Read his works. I think he wrote The Science of Getting Rich. Excellent book. After you're done with Think and Grow Rich, go get that one and read it. It's a short read, but jam-packed with information and knowledge and wisdom that will blow your mind. I think I've probably read that book 20 times. It's a quick, easy read, but get that, read that, devour it, and see what kind of an impact it has on your life. No two minds ever come together without thereby creating a third invisible, intangible force which may be likened to a third mind. That's the whole thought that 1 + 1 = 3. It's called synergy, and I like to think everyone's heard of synergy at this point, but maybe not. Maybe you don't know what synergy is. But synergy is when two minds come together, what they create together is bigger and greater than either one of them could create individually on their own. We see this with great couples. We see this with great business partners. We see this all over the world if we look for it. Examples of how two great minds got together and created a mastermind and things that neither one of them would individually have ever created on their own. If there's any one axiom that I've tried to live by and live up to in trying to become successful in business, it is the fact that I've tried to surround myself with associates who know more about business than I do. Monty L. Bean. And that is extremely true. You don't have to be the smartest person on the team. You don't have to be the smartest person in your business. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just have to know and be the smartest and best at knowing where to get the information that you need, knowing who has the specialized knowledge and the expertise that you need to bring together to create whatever it is that you want. A group of brains coordinated or connected in a spirit of harmony will provide more thought energy than a single brain, just as a group of electric batteries will provide more energy than a single battery. I mean, when you think of the battery example and the battery analogy compared to a group of brains, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? Obviously, if there's 6 of us all working toward a definite purpose and goal, we're going to come up with way more ideas than I could on my own. Any team or any group that is functioning as a mastermind will produce that kind of incredible results. Feedback is the breakfast of champions, according to Ken Blanchard and Spencer Johnson. I believe they're the 1-minute manager guys. Poverty needs no plan. It needs no one to aid it because it is bold and ruthless. Riches are shy and timid. They have to be attracted. And I think that's very true. Poverty and illness and disease, and I like to think those things are all kind of evil. It's all around us, and it doesn't need any particular invitation. It's just always around us, permeating society, permeating the world. And if you don't deliberately choose what it is you want to work toward and work on, those things will seep into your life. That negativity of the news and the daily life and disease and things happening around us, they will seep into your life and take it over. It's like weeds in a garden. They'll grow no matter what. Weeds will grow no matter what. You don't have to plant seeds to grow weeds. You do have to plant seeds to grow wisdom. That's mine. I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. That is one of my favorite sayings. And I strive to hope that my behavior is such that one of my desires in my life is to have people feel better for having come in contact with me. Now, I know sometimes I don't always live up to that because, let's be honest, we're all a bitch sometimes. Sometimes we're having a bad day and we spread that negativity to other people. But I am striving more and more every day and in every way to make sure that my contact and my interactions with other people are always positive and make them feel better about themselves and what they're doing and what role they play in the world. Anybody can wish for riches, and most people do, but only a few know that a definite plan plus a burning desire for wealth are the only dependable means of accumulating wealth. So basically, if you want to get rich, you better decide you want to get rich. You better have a burning desire for wealth and riches and accumulating wealth and living the life that you desire and deserve. And then you better create a plan and use a mastermind. Use the knowledge and skills and abilities of other people. Team up with other people's minds and brains to come up with your definite plans, to come up with your tactics, to come up with your strategies for achieving whatever it is that you want. Now, I could create a mastermind to help me with this short-term goal of losing 7 pounds. And I do have resources and people that I do call upon. I don't call upon them personally, but I call upon them by reading and absorbing their material on the internet or in books or on meditations or tapes. And I use that information to help me to know what I need to do. So that's my individual way of tapping into a mastermind for a smaller goal. But if I want to achieve a bigger goal, again, like I said, with the chronic pain, I am putting together a mastermind of people that together we can achieve that goal. That is my purpose, but that's not something I'm going to be able to do just by myself, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. That's something that's going to take a concerted effort by a lot of people. I've got a lot of ideas about it, but I know as I join forces with other people, more ideas will come forth, and we'll achieve that objective and that goal a lot faster than I could ever possibly make it happen on my own. So, who do you need to be in your mastermind? And it doesn't have to be a particular person. Maybe it's, what skills do I need people in my mastermind to have to help me acquire my goal or objective? What knowledge do I need to be willing to acquire to even decide who I need to have on my mastermind? What are some creative ways I can tap into other people's energy and other people's knowledge and other people's information to create my mastermind and attract the mastermind people that I need to achieve the goal or desire and create the definite purpose of what it is I want to create? So that's it. That's it for today. How can you gain power through the application of the mastermind strategy and the mastermind technique? Go out, make it an awesome day. Tomorrow is 10, the 10th step, and this, for me personally, is the most difficult to wrap my head around and discuss. So probably because of the way I was raised, my past beliefs and whatever else, but I will make a concerted effort, and I will do the best I can to provide the information to you because it's super duper powerful, and I've known it's super powerful for a long time, but I haven't been very good at applying it in my life for various reasons, which I will disclose tomorrow because they might be kind of embarrassing. Anyway, have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.